Reminder, it's 8 laps of the circuit. Supersport 600cc, race 2 of the weekend. Race 8 of 12 of the season, and it's underway. And in Minamoto from row 2, looks like he got off to a good start. Ibn Noruddin has been left standing at the start though. And look at that, Minamoto has got through into P2. It's a better start this time from 32.
Yeah, that was a good start from Helmi Asman. His front wheel spent a lot of time in the air, and I thought that might cost him, but he managed to stay ahead of Minamoto to lead into turn 1.
Khalid and Pawi were on board with here, looking backwards obviously onto the bike there of 46 Ratapong Willerot. As they've all got away nice and clean. But Minamoto was very aggressive off the line. That's a good start from Minamoto, although he's just being swallowed up just a little bit. Nonetheless, Helmi Asman leads. Minamoto loses P2.
Just see who that was that got close to him then. I think that was that Fadilla.
Yeah, it looks like Fadilla. I thought it was Caroline Mpawi just for a moment, but it's not. It's Fadilla who's got through. Adnan Putra on the Astra Honda has got through into P2.
Yeah, good work from him.
And Minamoto pushed out. Abe's got off to a less than stellar start.
Putra started in 9th, so that's a really good form from him on lap 1.
Minamoto very tight through turn 16. Minamoto holds on to P2, but it's Helmi Asman who got off to a decent start. He was on pole position, and he will be leading come through the end of the first of 8 laps.
Yeah, he handled that first lap pressure well, didn't he? He's got Adananta pushing now. He's made his way past Minamoto as they go towards turn 2.
Minamoto is taking some very, very tight lines. He's in P3 at the moment. He's taking different lines to just about everybody else. Fadil is in P4. Azroy Hakim 5. Caroline Mpawi has had a nightmare first lap. He's down in P9, is the overall championship leader, and his championship lead is under jeopardy.
And Azroy, who led from the start yesterday, down in P5. Nakarin, who finished 7th yesterday, in P6. He's just threatening.
New race leader, Adnan Putra, goes inside Helmi Asman. Oh, right at the back, 3 down, 2 Yamahas.
And the Honda of Nakarin. Oh no, sorry, that's Panasorn.
So Panasorn is down.
There's a rider hurt. Hopefully only winded.
Looked like one of the Yamahas, a Galang Hendra possibly. We'll confirm that just as soon as we can. The race goes on, no flag just at the moment. It's right at the back.
Ooh, that was a long way down for... Was that Ratapong? He came down from a long way. But while all that was going on...
Now Chip Nakarin is in P4, so Chip Nakarin is safe from any problems. I'm just seeing if Caroline Mpawi was involved in that. So Nakarin is okay.
Yeah, this is the best we've seen of Adananta Putra. Hopefully Ratapong was only winded by that fall from high altitude.
It was a nasty old bump as Minamoto tries to look on the inside of Helmi Asman. Asman 32, Minamoto 22 in the blue livery. Behind them, Chip Nakarin, Fadila, Azroy Hakim struggling.
Quito down in 7th, Quito Abe on the 1XOX TKKR.
New race leader.
Oh, somebody went really wide then. And down by the look of it. Didn't see who that was. Helmi still 2nd.
Adnan Putra has got himself quite a healthy lead here. It was 2/10 at the end of the previous lap. It looks like he's increased that one quite considerably now.
It's really impressive stuff by Adananta. We didn't talk about him as a potential race winner earlier. Class rookie, that he is. Minamoto threatening Chip Nakarin there. So make their way round the chalk dust. It's not really chalk, but it looks like it.
Abe trying to get to the edge. We come through to the end of lap number 3. It's a fast sprint race. Coming through, Adnan Putra leads from Helmi Asman, 4/10 clear of Chip Nakarin, Minamoto, Fadila, bike 93 ahead of Ajroy Hakim, Abe, Andy Mohammed Fadli in 8, Karol Dempawi is really struggling in 9, Ibrahim Noruddin in 10. Right, Daniel, I believe, is in the paddock with some update on maybe that crash that we saw earlier on.
So we're down here at the Bunsu Honda Racing Team paddock with the race manager, Mr. Joel. So we want to get your opinion on the reduced laps from 10 to 8 laps. Could you tell us a bit more about it?
I think the race organizer is giving the right decision on this, as the track condition is quite bad, as many bikes for 600 punctures. And I think it's very good for us too, for our safety wise. Okay, thank you.
Definitely, we always care about the rider safety, so thank you so much for giving us a little bit of information on that, and we wish you guys good luck in this race.
Bunsu Honda giving us the lowdown. Bunsu Honda, though, not leading this race, currently in P2, and Karol Dempawi is struggling, as is Ajroy Hakim Anwar. Maybe a little bit of tentativeness from the management is relaying itself down to the riders themselves, but Adnan Putra showing no tentativeness, Barry Russell, as he's leading the way and has done for the last 2.5 laps.
Yeah, first time we've seen him at the front. This is really good stuff from Adnan, leading the much more experienced in this class, Helmi Asman, and Soichiro Minamoto challenging Chip Nakarin for that final podium spot, not making it this time around. Seems like we've only just started, but there are only 4 laps remaining. Karol
Dempawi in P8. He is more than 3 seconds down. There's an incident at turn 10 under investigation. That was the big crash we saw involving Ratapong, Ray Matsuoka and Panason. It's under investigation at the moment. It won't affect what's going on at the front, though. And what's going on at the front is that Adnan Putra is leading. There's the overall championship leader, Karol Dempawi, struggling. I said he was feeling a little bit under the weather, and seems to be impacting him on the circuit as well, because he's a long way behind Kito Abe. This is the battle for P8, and Karol Dempawi is under pressure from Andy Mohammed Fadli and Ibrahim Noruddin.
Yeah, Ibrahim not coming through quite as he would have wished, but I think with 1.6 seconds covering the first 7, we should keep our eye on Kito Abe, who's currently at the back of that group.
We'll focus here just for a short while as we are at midway point of this sprint race. Okay, we'll move away. Adnan Putra back to the front. Putra still leading. The lead isn't as big as it was before, though. Helmi Asman, Chip Nakarin and Minamoto have been able to claw back that lead. And 5 and 6 Fadila. Ajroy Hakim also not out of this equation. Ajroy Hakim, he deserves a little bit of luck, and quite rightly, as you said, Kito Abe, don't count him out of this one either.
Yeah, Helmi Asman went very wide there, comes across the line, 4th this time around. Nakarin has moved up to 2nd, so Soichiro Minamoto is still there, as he has been for the entire race distance.
Interesting, on that long straight, that's where Adnan Putra is able to glean just a little bit of ground. They seem to catch up on the technical parts of the circuit, and the last part of the circuit is technical, so Adnan Putra might be vulnerable come the latter stages of this 8-lap race. Putra still leads the way. Kito Abe 1 through 7. What's the gap between 1 through 7? It's 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, pretty tight. Abe not yet making his presence felt. He's got just over 2 laps in which to do it.
There is Abe. He's made up one of those places. That's Ajroy Hakim Anwar, who's just ahead of Abe, so 2 places have been lost by Fadilia. All riders are okay after that incident. We were worried particularly about Ratapong Willarot, who was pushed high up into the sky and had a big bump, but all riders are reported okay, which is the most important thing.
Yeah, and at the front now we have Nakarin, Atirapuvapat, Minamoto pushing. He's now in 2nd. It's been 1, 2 or 3 for the whole race, and he's making his way into P1. as we speak.
Adenanta was in P1 for quite some time, but he's been pushed backwards into P3, and quite rightly, look at this one. Chip Nakarin and Minamoto leading the way. Helmi Asman looks a little bit off the pace for Bunshu Honda.
Yes, he does. Nakarin slithering his way through into the lead as they go into turn 1. Pushes Minamoto back to second. Got the second of these really tight right-handers.
Chip Nakarin had a race win in Buriram, and here he's got the lead, but he's under pressure from Minamoto, who is looking for his first win of the season, and Helmi Asman is there looking for his second win of the season.
Yeah, Helmi Asman making his way up as well. 1.5 laps remaining.
This sprint, I'm enjoying the sprint. It wasn't meant to be 8 laps, but it's turned into a fascinating battle. As look at that, Nakarin moves into P2 after Minamoto had taken over the lead.
And Adenanta still fighting for that spot on the podium.
So is Helmi Asman. This is like Underbone. Underbone at a much, much greater speed. Helmi Asman, bike 32. He's in P4 at the moment. Ajroy Hakim showing that little battle as well. Abe not too far behind, but it's Minamoto who's got the bit between his teeth as they come into the latter stages of this lap. This is turn 16. Abe makes a move on the inside, and 2 have to stand up. Abe has to slam on the brakes.
Yeah, he's not finding his way around quite as he wants to, Kito Abe. Minamoto leads them across the line as they start the final lap. Chip Nakarin second. Adenanta back up into third.
Right, you suspect the podium will come from these 4. Minamoto, his crew are looking on. Minamoto on the Yamaha for Yamaha Gem Blue Racing ASEAN, leading the way. Has he got it in him for a first win of the season? There is Helmi Asman, the overall champion, the man chasing the overall championship.
Helmi's going to want to put himself on the podium again. It was all about Bunshu Honda up until this point in the season, and now got Yamaha Gen Blue, Thai Yamaha, and Astra Honda.
Minamoto's not being pulled in. There is a half a lap to go, but we are through turn 10. This is 11. Sharp right-hander, any move is going to have to come pretty quickly. Minamoto looking good, looking smooth. Chip Nakarin in P2. 32 is out. That is Helmi Asman.
That is Helmi Asman, and I'd like to have a look at the back of his bike, but here we are. Just a couple of turns left.
Minamoto has this corner to negotiate. Chip Nakarin putting all the pressure on. Nakarin goes wide. Minamoto is able to turn into corner 17 and will drive out for a first win of the season. Sojiro Minamoto takes the victory from Chip Nakarin. Adenencha Pucha, Astra Honda in 3. Ajroy Hakim from Abe from Frodila. Ibrahim Noradin 7th ahead of Carol Idampawi. First win of the season for Minamoto. No wonder Barry Russell, he's celebrating.
Yep, he did really well. You could see he's a rider who's positive. He'll make the best of any situation he finds himself in. I don't think he was ever out of the first 3 in that fiercely contested race. He picked up the fastest lap as well, 1:38.4. And I'm impressed with Adenanta Putra here. First podium for him, the class rookie for Astra Honda. And he led much of that race.
Ajroy Hakim had a finish in P4, 13 points for him. So his weekend is not a complete write-off, but this time the Bunshu Honda problems belonged to Helmi Asman.
Yeah, Yamaha Gen Blue celebrating in pit lane, as well they might, because they took whatever lessons they learned from yesterday and turned it into a success story for race 2.
Minamoto takes it, first win of the season for Yamaha Gen Blue, half a second clear of Nakarin for Honda Racing Thailand. Adanentra Putra, Astra Honda Racing, as you say, the rookie picking up his first podium of the season. In P4th was Ajroy Hakim Anwar. Good for him just to finish a race. Kito Abe in P5, Fadila for Astra Honda Racing in P6. Ibrahim Noradin, he'll be happy to pick up 9 points for Yamaha Gen Blue Racing. Good race for them in P7, ahead of Carol Idampawi, an off-colour Carol Idampawi for Bunshu Honda Racing. That's the top 8. Andy Mohammed Fadli picks up 7 points for Yamaha Racing Indonesia. We've still not seen the best of Fadli. Sharjun Chong will be happy to pick up 6 points for P10. Helmi Asman, like to know what happened with Helmi, because he was genuinely in contention until the last lap. Galang Hendra Pratama continues to struggle on the Yamaha in P12. Ratapong crashed out, but is okay, as is Rei Matsuoka and is Panason. They were the 3 who were involved in that spectacular crash in turn 10. But glad to say all are well.
Yeah, much deserved celebrations there for Minamoto. Out comes the emotion, and just behind them you can see Thai Honda, after a difficult weekend, celebrating the Supersport 600 result. Yamaha Gen Blue, they did a good job overnight. And there is Helmi Asman heading back to the pits on the back of one of the Marshall scooters. There'll be a lot of photos like that featuring Soichiro.
An 8-lap sprint for the Supersport 600 that had the feel of an underbone around it sometimes. It was so competitive at the front, but Minamoto was able to pull clear, and in the end up the half-second differential between him and Nakarin on the Honda in P2. And Abe on the other Yamaha, again a second P5 of the weekend.
Yeah, you can have really close racing all the way around, but if you make a slight error or don't quite get it right on turn 15, 16 and into turn 17, then the difference between first and second can look a little exaggerated. Crowd there being well entertained, and hopefully Daniel will be getting hold of Adananta Putra, the rookie with his first Supersport 600 podium.
Well, we're on the back here of Carol Idampawi. Carol Idampawi will hold on to the overall championship lead, but an 8-point race make it a 28-point weekend. Let's go down to the Parc Ferme, where I believe Daniel is indeed waiting to get some reaction to the Supersport 600cc race we've just seen.
Electric scenes here in Parc Ferme for the Supersport 600 race. And Adinanta, we miss you on here in the Parc Ferme. Congratulations on your first Supersport 600 podium. It was a tough race. Tell us about it.
Yes, I'm very happy. Thank you for my family already come to support me, and thank you for Astra Honda Racing team and mechanic, all crew for hard work for this weekend. Yeah, I'm very happy. This is amazing race. You know, this is my first podium on Supersport 600. Yeah, when the race, I try to push from the beginning, but on the last 3-4 laps, maybe my tire life was almost very slippery. I just maintained, because when I try to more push, very high risk to crash, and then I just maintained. Yeah, I'm happy for get this podium on race 2. I will try more best on next race. Yes.
Thank you, Adinanta. Great stuff. Congratulations. And coming in second, it's a very happy Chip Nakarin. Nakarin, great to see you as well back on the podium. Fabulous fight. It was so different from yesterday's race. Can you tell us about it?
So incredible today. I changed a little bit something on my bike, because yesterday very difficult to fight with them. So I try to push more 100% than yesterday, and very hard race. I just push every corner, every lap, because only 8 lap. This is like spin late. Yeah. I want to say thank you to my team and all sponsor and all my fans on the world and Thailand. I want to give this second best for Thailand.
Thank you so much. Congratulations again. Fabulous stuff. And now we move on to our race winner, Soichiro Minamimoto. So yesterday, a very hard-fought podium. Today, a victory. It looked like you were able to push on from the start. Was that the case? Because Nakarin said that he was able to push early on.
Yes, so because today's race only just eight lap, but we are no problem from the rear tire, because until final lap I keep good pace. So because we know we are strong the part of last of the race. So because I decided in the race and last 2 laps I pushing hard. So yes, that is race. And finally I could win. So I'm so really happy. So I want to say thank you for team and all Yamaha supporters. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations again. Great stuff. And we're going to have a quick talk with the manager for Yamaha. So this is Yamaha's first victory this season. How tough of a journey has it been for Yamaha altogether?
Yeah, it was a very long day to get a win. And our competitor is very strong, but our team and rider was a very good job, and we have a good preparation for today. I'm very happy.
Great stuff, and it has been a long race to this final victory. Thank you, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Highlights from the Supersport 600 race 2 of the weekend, race 8 of the season from the Mandalika circuit. And very early on, Helmi Asman, who had a difficult time, or won the race yesterday, gets off to a better start than he did yesterday. For a while, it looked like Helmi was going to enjoy this race, but the whole Bunshu Honda setup didn't seem to be confident. We heard in the middle of the race by Russell from their team manager, the fact it was an 8-lap sprint, they didn't seem confident from the outset, and that might have put itself onto the riders as well.
I wonder if it did, but Helmi was looking really good at this point, but all the way through the race, the rider in second there on the Yamaha Gen Blue machine, Soichiro Minamimoto, he was there or thereabouts, and I was really impressed with this debut showing at the front for Adinanta Putra. He led a lot of this race. Under huge pressure, and there was that horrible crash.
Everyone okay, glad to say, including Ratapong Guillerot, who went up high in the air. Everyone walked away, and then we can focus, as you were saying, on Adinanta Putra. This is the Idemitsu Bunshu Honda, Carol Paui. He was struggling, he was under the weather, the whole team, it just didn't quite seem as good as that, whereas Minamimoto, bike number 22 here, and Adinanta Putra, as well as Chip Nakarin, they produced something very different from what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, and Helmi Asman, yeah, really the sole Bunshu Honda representative in contention at the front there. Asroy was there, but not quite in contention for the podium. You can just see him in the background there. Chip Nakarin was also always there, had a little sniff at the front, but Minamimoto really got his head down. You could see the belief in his riding style.
Puncture, that's the problem. Puncture it was for Helmi Asman. He would not finish the race, but this is where you thought there was a potential chance for Chip Nakarin to maybe just undercut Minamimoto, but Minamimoto had his angles right, got a great drive out, and is able to celebrate early. Ahead of Chip Nakarin and Adinanta Putra, he's celebrating a first podium as well. But for Minamimoto and Yamaha Gen Blue Racing ASEAN, this was a first win of the season. And as Daniel said, it's been a while coming.
Brilliant stuff. Third yesterday, first today, Minamimoto, third today, and a first podium for Adinanta Putra.
Doesn't he look happy? That step up from 250 to 600. We saw how difficult it is for Andy Mohamed Fadli to make that step up. Well, Adinanta Putra has, and he's got himself a podium. A very happy Nakarin as well. And an ecstatic Soichiro Minamoto.
Yeah, as well he might be. You can see he's aggressive when he needs to be, but he was quick and neat and accurate and really earned and deserved that win. So we will hear once again the national anthem of Japan.
Kimigayo observed, and for Minamoto, we've been following this kid for quite a while. He's not a kid anymore, he's a mature racer now. He's in the All Japan, and it's good to see him back on the top of podiums. MD of the Mandalika, Molin Duano, is handing out the prize for third place to Adananto Putra for Astra Honda Racing. Good day for Astra Honda as well.
Brilliant day for them.
Takeshi Urabe, the President Director of Idemitsu Techno Indonesia, hands out the prize to Nakarin Atirupulpavat for Honda Racing Thailand. I must confess, at the start of this race, I wouldn't have predicted in my wildest dreams these three on 1, 2, 3.
No, I would have put Minamoto there, and there he is on the top of the box. That's what it means.
And for Yamaha Gen Blue Racing ASEAN as well, reward for a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. When you're not winning, it must be so dispiriting. Stefan Carapier hands out the Team Presenter Award to the Yamaha ASEAN team, Yamaha Gen Blue Racing Team ASEAN. Makes interesting reading in the overall championship standing as well. It's not bad news for Karol Idampawi once we get there. Minamoto, new name at the top of the podium. Putra, new name on the podium. And for Nakarin, well, it's a 5th podium of the season. His disqualification in Sugo could come back to bite him very hard.
Yeah, 12 races in this series.
Nakarin, second, 26 points adrift of Karol Idampawi. If he didn't get that disqualification, it'd be so much closer. Nonetheless, he and Minamoto level on 120 points. Abe moves up to 4th. Helmi Asman going out, drops down from P2 down to P5. Ajroy Hakim Anwar on 63 points. Adananto Putra moves into reckoning with 60 points. And Ratapong, again, just to re-emphasize, he is fit, if a little bit bruised after his crash. He is in P8 on 53 points. And so the waves keep on rolling in from the Indian Ocean onto this circuit. We've got one more race to go. It's the Superbikes, the 1000cc. It's the finale of this race weekend at Mandalika, and it's coming to you after a very short break. This is the Asia Road Racing Championships. We're in Lombok, Indonesia.